your journey in charter with in three words.
Always exciting, never boring. That's 4 words.
Works. It works. What has been the most exciting thing in charter till date? If you had to pick just one.
The transformation from a small company of about 17,000 when I first joined to almost 100,000 people has been really amazing. And the leadership of Tom Rutledge as well. When Tom came into the company, he completely changed the entire company. And watching him do that and being part of his strategic vision was really exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah. So now a lighter one. Whom would you hire? A smarter geek or a hardworking geek?
I would hire for the role. So if I really felt like I needed somebody who could come up with really innovative ideas and they were super smart and I wanted that type of person, then I would hire that type of person. If I felt like I wanted somebody to really push things forward and maybe didn't have to have all that creativity, I would hire the hardworking person.
Mm-hmm. That was a smart take. Yeah. So, Marty.
But I haven't met very many people at Charter who aren't hardworking. I don't think there's anybody that we've hired. I mean, just for the record, you can cut this out if you want, but I don't think there's anybody we've hired that isn't hardworking.
That's the modest Marty coming out, so, but that's all right. Here, you got a great exposure in engineering and IT, with both the domains kind of merging here. Which one would you pick?
Wow, if I had to choose?
Yes.
I would probably pick engineering because it's newer for me. I grew up in IT, and so I've had a lot of background experience from within IT. Engineering is a little bit newer for me, and so it would be more of an opportunity for me to learn.
Okay. So you began your career in U.S. Air Force developing software for satellites, tracking systems. How well do you see your transition, and this goes back in the day probably, from your career in Air Force to corporate America? Pros, cons, a little word of encouragement
Sure.
for maybe our kids joining?
Absolutely. So the military is a great place to get started, right? It's a great job. You learn a lot. You get to have leadership responsibilities early. But the reason why I left was because the promotions and the advancement is based on time. So there's really no advantage to working hard, and so you meet a lot of people that can get kind of complacent, and that wasn't what I wanted. So the reason why I left was because I could find more dynamic career opportunities outside the military. The one thing I do miss is the family. So when you're part of the military, it's not a job, it's a family, and everybody takes care of each other. So that's the one thing that I miss with being in the military.
Okay. So Marty, females have typically made a significant progress, right?
Yeah.
So what would be your message to generally the
To
women
females?
in the industry? Yeah.
Message to the women in the industry. Don't be afraid to go for the promotion. Don't be afraid to go for the title. Don't be afraid to be ambitious. It's a lot more acceptable now for women to be ambitious than it was. And I think we can be pushed into, the lateral's okay. You can learn. You just do a lateral. It's fine. You'll learn a lot. But men don't do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to go for that next level, go for the promotion, be ambitious. Don't be afraid to be ambitious.
Okay. So tell us something about the WICT and how would you encourage that more women joining this program? Because it's an awesome program.
Oh, yeah.
So-
It's an awesome program. I actually joined WICT when I worked at level 3, and it would have been, maybe 15, 16 years ago. And for a long time, I actually ran the mentoring program. And then I ran the Tech It Out program for 3 years, and then I kind of just became more of a participator, if you will. And the program is just amazing. I actually have this job because of WICT. I met Shelley Humphreys, who works in network operations, through WICT. She was with me in the mentoring program. Mm-hmm. And through her, I met Matt Bell, who mentioned to me, we were actually having lunch together, and he started asking me all these questions about my job and what I did, and he said, you would really be great for a position that we have open. Why don't you come in and interview? So I came in and interviewed for the job and got the job. So I got this position because of WIC. I just think it's an amazing organization. So many people to network with, so many fun things to do and learn. I actually learned how to play golf through WIC too.
So Marty, what is your Marty's management style?
My management style. Management or leadership? Leadership. I guess for management, I definitely would say if you want to sort of know the basic groundwork, I have a certain system that I use. They have a system of sort of one-on-ones, being able to talk with folks, and I have staff meetings, and I have all hands, and I have different reporting that I like to see, and metrics and things like that. That's kind of the basic stuff that I do for management. For leadership, I like to be someone who is very open, and people would hopefully think that I'm approachable. But I also do tend to set kind of high standards. I try to be careful not to be too hard on folks. And I try to make sure that folks always know they can come and talk to me about things. And I try to set up the right structure for people to be successful.
So, Sid's greatest contribution. I know you have 2 kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah, as far as corporate is concerned, but what is Sid's most?
Sid's greatest contribution is making sure that the customer experience has been absolutely phenomenal. We test almost every single major program that happens in this company. The function that we have is absolutely 100% critical to everything this company does, and people tend to forget. Because testing goes well and we don't find problems in production, people tend to forget how critical it is. But the reason why things work well is because this team, the SIT team, is doing such an awesome job of testing.
3 fun things you enjoy doing.
3 fun things I enjoy doing. I just learned how to play golf, so I enjoy doing that, although there's times when I don't enjoy it, but most of the time I do, and I learned through WIC. I like to spend time with my kids. I have 2 kids, one of them's 21, one of them's 14. They're going to be grown up soon, so I like to spend time with them. And I like to ski. Ski's one of the 3rd thing that I like to do.
Not try that. I still love the warm weather.
I know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So again, I think I've asked, but in a different way. What are the key attributes of a good leader? If people like us want to excel in life, what are the 3 main things, or a few main things that you would suggest that you should work on?
I think building really good teams is really important, because I can't do this by myself. I have to have a really good, wonderful team behind me, making sure people are in the right roles, making sure they're happy, making sure the organization is functioning, making sure the culture is what we need it to be, making sure we have good relationships with other groups. So just the core of it is the team. If you don't have the team, we really don't have anything. And then I also think just being very open-minded and listening to people is really important in a leader. If we don't listen to the folks, then we don't know what to do to improve. So that would be the 2nd thing. And then the 3rd thing I think a leader needs to have is at least some degree of ability to be inspirational, to be able to get in front of people and to be able to say, this is amazing, right? We are doing something so amazing, and to really inspire people to continue to do well and improve.
Now it's a brain teaser. Let's.
She told me there was a trick question.
Yeah, it's fun. How many times can you subtract the number 2 from the number 50?
Only a genius will love a woman. I'm a genius, a genius.
He's a genius.
'Cause I love a woman like you.
Genius. He's a genius.
'Cause I love a woman like you.
Thought of the day, Marty.
Thought of the day. Oh, wow. Thought of the day. That my thought of the day is to assume positive intent. Everyone is trying to do the right thing. No one is purposely trying to undermine anybody, or, unless you really have a truly evil person, of which there are very few. Assume positive intent.
It's awesome.